The day has finally come when I get to reveal our stunning mural. It is all finished, and in fact today is going to be part one of the reveal. We've actually got a two-part reveal, so I'm going to tell you what that's all about later. And the reception room has also had some other big transformations this week, along with the finishing of our mural. So let me show you what we've been up to. So it's time to start painting our trim on the top of our reception room, and you can see this beautiful grape feature. It's one of the original features of the house, and these grapes were made out of plaster, and over the years they've been painted over and painted over, so you can see in certain parts, especially in this corner here, it's just all gunked up with paint. So we are going to be actually slowly restoring those and carefully taking the paint off. That is not a job that is a quick job, so it's not going to happen straight away. So for now, I'm actually going to paint the trim, but I'm not going to paint the grapes, because obviously we don't want to put another layer of paint on and then have to get it off again. So I'm going to paint all the other trim, but I'm going to leave the grapes for now, and then down the road, when we come back to doing that restoration project, we'll do one area at a time, and we'll gradually work through getting all that paint off and getting them back to the way they were when they were originally made. So my trim is now painted, and I'm just opening up my green paint for the walls. It's this gorgeous pigeon green that is going to go on the top half of the wall. I feel like I've been waiting a long time to see what this beautiful green looks like on our ceiling. And finally, the time has come when I can start painting. So I'm going to start with this edge piece, and then I'll work into the middle of the room. But I'm excited to see how this looks with the trim color. Because of the trim that we have here, I've got a lot of cutting in to do. So I'm doing this first section, this side section first, because this is where most of the cutting is going to be, and then I'm going to move to the center. But I love the fact that we're actually using a ceiling paint which is completely matte, but the trim here is actually a satin, so we're getting a distinct difference with the texture, which I really like the contrast of the matte ceiling paint with the satin trim. And it just really means that the light slightly catches the trim color and really makes it a little bit even more obvious, and makes it pop a little bit, which is a very subtle way of making your trim stand out against the ceiling. What's been so interesting about this ceiling paint is that typically when you put paint on, it dries to look darker. But this paint actually is dried to look lighter. When we first put it on, it actually looked very similar to the wall color. And we were kind of like, oh, have we chosen the color that's too dark? But now it's dried, it's got this really lovely soft green. And I'm a huge fan of putting color on ceilings. It really makes the trim pop, it elevates the room, and I think it's the perfect combination in this space that gives the room kind of the elegance and the grandeur that it needs for the size and the type of room it is. So it's finally time for me to reveal our finished mural. You can see it behind me. And as I said, it's kind of a two-part reveal, because today I couldn't wait any longer. I just had to show you the finished mural. But you'll notice that our trim and our door color is not finished. So today I'm going to reveal the mural, and then in a couple of weeks we will reveal the finished wall, which will have our finished trim. Our door behind me is going to be stripped down and painted in the off-white, and so it won't jump out like it does at the moment, but I just couldn't wait that long. So let me show you our absolutely stunning mural. It has far exceeded our expectations. Jackie and Peggy from Sister Works Art have done such an amazing job. It is just fantastic. And I always had in my mind a vision of what I wanted it to look like. I had, right from when we first moved in, I just really felt that I wanted to have a piece of Dorchester, the outside landscape of Dorchester here in the reception room. And so I had the idea of putting this mural on this wall. And so I went to Peggy and Jackie and asked them if they do murals, which they've never done a mural before. But they're amazing artists. And so they trusted me enough with my vision. And we used a photo that we took across Dorchester, and they have created this complete masterpiece behind me. And to be honest with you, you can just stand and look at it for ages and ages. There's so many little bits of detail. We have our little furry friends that are in there. And the really fun part is there's several little furry friends that are hidden. So when you come to the manor in the future, you will be able to come and search for those furry friends and see if you can find them. There are a couple that are really, really tough to find. It took me a long, long time, and Jackie kind of had to help me a little bit. So, but just, we absolutely love it. And as I said before, this isn't the only mural we're gonna have. Jackie and Peggy are gonna be actually starting work on the second mural that we're adding in a few weeks' time. So you'll have to stay tuned to see where that's going to be and what that's going to be of. But it's we're very, very excited to see that one come to life as well. But in the meantime, I can't wait to show you in a few weeks' time this finished wall with all the trim and the door finish. But for now, it's just the most beautiful mural that I could ever imagine. So we want to say a huge thank you to Jackie and Peggy, because they have just completely exceeded all our expectations, and it's just fabulous. So this week, my next project is to work on this mantle. Now, from a distance, the mantle looks like marble, but when you get very close, you realize it's actually painted on. And it's been done so well that it fools almost everyone that comes to the manor. Most people think it's marble until they get really close, and then they realize it's paint. So we're going to be refinishing this. We're going to add a few more period features to it. It has such a gorgeous insert here. And this came with the house. Sadly, we can't use the fire for a wood burning stove or something like that. It was actually built for coal back in the day when they used to use coal here at the manor, and so the chimney size is too small for us to put a flue in that meets code. So we do have the option of going with an electric insert or a gas insert, and that's something that we may consider. But for now, this is just so beautiful that we are going to refinish the mantle and really feature this gorgeous insert. I'm also going to be working on the trim, because I have some the trim around the windows, I have the chair rail and the paneling trim that will go on this bottom half of the walls where it's the off-white. So I have lots and lots to do this week. So stay tuned, come back next week. You'll be able to see my progress and see what the mantle looks like after we've done the restoration, and it will look hopefully amazing with all the other colors that we've got here in the reception room. So I'm going to get back to work, and I will see you back here next week for our next episode of the Ladysmith Manor Diaries.